So today we will be going over the OP08 pre-release event that will be coming up on September 6th to the 12th. This will be a quick rundown for the event if you haven't done it before. You will get 6 packs of products to open and build a 40 card deck, and remember to bring your own leader and Don. If you're lucky enough to get a ticket for this event, you will get a promotional card Marco for just showing up. You will also get a participation pack that will have stamped pre-release comments and commons from the set, and if you go through this guide, hopefully it will give you that better chance at winning that winner card. This card is a full art version of a participation promo card that you just got, but it will also have that pre-release winner stamp on it. So we will get started off by checking out the new leaders that you can pull from this set. Chopper on active main once per turn, put up to 1 rested Dawn, each on up to 3 of your animal or Drum Kingdom characters. For this event, if you end up pulling a lot of animals or Drum Kingdom characters, this may be very strong, since those types of characters will have abilities locked with leader types such as Chopper. You can use some of their powerful modifiers such as KOing opponents' boards or adding attack powers to your characters. The other usable leader in this set is Carrot. Active main once per turn. If you have a character with the Minx type in play, rest up to one of your opponent's costs 5 or less characters. If you do pull a lot of Minx type of characters, you may want to consider using Carrot, since you'll be able to use their modifier by having her as your main leader. It does rest of 5 costs or less, so it might not be as strong as Bonnie, but maybe with the modifiers that we review, it could be usable. So from passive events, Useless Captain Kid has always been the most used and stronger leaders. By resting 3 Dawns and discarding from your hand, you can restand him and have a second attack. This is a very powerful ability, allowing you to clear and control board or go for game. From the passive event, we have added Jury Bonnie. Kid and Bonnie are probably the 2 strongest leaders that you can use for this event. With Jury Bonnie, by resting 1 Dawn, you're able to rest up to one of your opponent's leaders or characters. This is a very powerful ability, being able to rest any cost of your opponent's field and or leader. This is essentially having a free blocker or just free counter, because you are eliminating an entire swing from your opponent's field. Roranor Zoro, by attaching 1 Dawn to him, all your characters gain 1000 power. This once again is a very powerful in this format, since you will be forcing your opponent to use more to defend and will greatly reduce their hand size. From OP06, Yamato has also become another strong leader for this type of event. Being able to gain double attack in each turn can add a lot of pressure to your opponent to deal with. It will just come down to how many 2Ks and blocker cards that the player has to be able to deal with this leader. From passive events, depending on what you pull, I have seen this matchup end pretty quickly. Just remember that with Yamato's double attack, you do not gain fatal, so if the opponent is at 1 life, you will not kill them with double attack. In the end, if you're unable to get your hands on these leaders, just play whatever you're comfortable with. There are many other options that can work, but these will definitely be what you'll see the most at these types of events. They are so aggressive and may give you that slight edge, but in the end, it will just come down to luck and whatever you draw. So make sure you have fun and play what you enjoy. So now that you picked your leader, and also don't forget to bring your Dawn, it's time for the best part of the event, opening up your packs with your friends and seeing who gets all those beautiful alt arts. Hopefully someone can pull that manga card also. First thing you want to do is find all your 2Ks. You will want to put 8 to 12 in your deck. You may not want to put more in this because it could make your deck weak, but if you do get extras, put them aside, since some of your 2Ks may be useful tech cards, so adding more would be fine. And if you do need some filler in, you can always add some more 2Ks. In OP08, you will find a total of 10. 5 locked in the common and uncommon slot, and 4 in the rare slot, and 1 SR. Next thing you're going to want to do is find your blockers. In this set, you will have 7 new blockers, so count is way down from the last pre-release. 4 will be common, 2 will be uncommon, and 1 will be rare. You will want to put as many blockers as you can if you do pull them. The next thing you want to do is look for your vanilla or value cards. These are the cards that are going to be the staple of your deck and will give you the best cost to attack power characters. These will generally have 2k more attack powers than the 2 costs of the card value. In this set, you'll be keeping an eye out for these 13 characters. Try to have a good curve and not overload on too many high ends, because in this format, it may end before you get to play them. You will want to try to keep more 5 and 6k attackers, since this way you won't need to attach Dawn to be able to attack the leader. You will also want to place as many 1k counters in your deck from these cards as you can. So these are going to be some of the cards you want to keep an eye on. If you pull these cards, you will for sure want to add them to your deck, since they will be some of the most powerful cards in the set for this type of event. Wapol, a 6 cost 6k attacker with 1k counter. By attaching 1 Dawn, when attacking, give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 2k power for the turn. Then increasing this character's 2k power until the end of their opponent's next turn. Making this guy super powerful. Not only is he swinging for 6k and reducing one of your opponent's character's attack power by 2k, the one you're swinging into, or maybe another one you're about to attack next, he becomes an 8k defensive body also. Pero, a 4 cost 5k attacker with 1k counter. Not only is he a blocker, but he has a pretty cool KO effect. You may rest up to one of your opponent's Dawn or KO up to one of your opponent's rested 6 cost or lower characters. This is a super strong card to help you clear and control board easier. Edward Weevil is a 4 cost 5k attacker with 1k counter. When attaching 1 Dawn and when attacking, you are able to return up to 1 characters with a 3 cost or less back to the owner's hand. You may be able to send some of your own tech or counter back to your hand, or maybe even remove one of your opponent's blockers off of their board. Super strong card that your opponent may not see coming. Jozu is a 6 cost 7k attacker with 1k counter. On play, you may return one of your characters other than this card to your hand. Then you can return a 6 cost or lower character to the original owner's hand. Such a strong card allowing you to return tech to your own hand, removing a blocker from your opponent's field, or maybe a big threat. Another strong card that you should consider adding to your deck. Charlotte Ivan, a 5 cost 6k attacker with 1k counter. When attacking, return 1 Dawn. You can KO up to one of your opponent's 3 costs or lower. Any card that can help you gain board control is always a must. Charlotte Katakuri, a 5 cost 5k attacker with 1k counter. On play, you may flip the top card of your life face down and add up to 1 Dawn from your Dawn deck and set it as active. A powerful ramp card that can be used to help you add more attack power to a swinging character. Charlotte Perospero, super value card that will have vanilla stats, a 3 cost 5k attacker. On KO, set up one of your Dawn from your Dawn deck as rested. It will also have a trigger that will allow you to play this card by returning 1 Dawn, and playing this card gets back 1 rested Dawn. In this format, any trigger allows you to play a free character is always a must. Jinbei, a 5 cost 6k attacker, attaching 1 Dawn, and when attacking, if you have a character with a cost of 8 or more, KO up to one of your opponent's 4 costs or less. This will be a strong card to help you clear blockers and control board late game. You would play Jinbei to establish the body before dropping an 8 cost big body and then swinging this man and removing a blocker. Esok, a 4 cost 5k attacker with 1k counter. Attaching 1 Dawn while life total is lower than your opponent's, this character has 2k attack power, making him a 7k body and cannot be KO'd in battle by a slash type character. Not only do you gain 2k attack power to attack with, but also if you have lower life than your opponent, you stay as a 7k body and cannot be KO'd by a slasher type. This will for sure change the outcome of the game if your opponent isn't careful on how they swing. Black Marie, a 3 cost 2k attacker with 2k counter. On active main and once per turn, if you have no other Black Marias, add up to 5 Dawn from your Dawn deck rested. At the end of your turn, return Dawn cards from the field to your Dawn deck until the number of Dawn cards on field is equal to the number of your opponents. You will have this card in your deck either way because it's a 2k. But if you can pair this card with one of the new Linlin and Kaido card, you will be super broken. 2020 Chopper, a 3 cost 5k attacker. Your turn on play. When attacking, look at the top 5 cards from your deck, and from among them play one of the animal type characters with 4k power or less as rested. Then place the rest of the card on the bottom of your deck in any order. If you pull a lot of animal type characters, consider adding this to your deck. Any card that can help you spam your board is always powerful in this format. Carrot, a 5-cost 6k attacker with 1k counter. On play and when attacking up to one of your opponent's rested 7 cost or less characters may not become active during its owner's refresh phase. This will be a super broken card that will freeze one of your opponent's characters each turn. For sure add this to your deck. Charlotte Linlin, a 9-cost 6k attacker. On play, return 1 Dawn, trash 1 card from your hand, and add up to 1 card from the top of your deck to your life. Then place up to one of your opponent's characters 6 costs or less to the top or bottom of its owner's life face up. A strong card that will allow you to heal yourself and also remove a body off of your opponent's field. Just remember, if you do pick a card, consider if you want to give them more counter or not. Kaido, a 9-cost 9k attacker. Activate main once per turn. You may discard one card from your hand. If this character was played this turn, place up to one of your opponent's 7 cost or lower characters into trash. Then your opponent discards 1 card from their hand. Trashing a 7 cost from your opponent's field and forcing them to discard a card from their hand is super powerful. Jack, a 7 cost 8k attacker. This character has plus 4 costs. On active main, you may rest this card and draw 1 and trash 1 card from your hand. Then KO up to one of your opponent's 3 costs or less. He's a big body and attacker, but you can also rest him to cycle your hand and KO up to a 3 cost. This card is broken in this format for sure. Charlotte Opera, a 6-cost 6k attacker with 1k counter. On play, you may trash 1 card from your hand and KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of equal to or less than the number of life cards. Another card you must put into your deck, a very powerful removal card and can change the pace of the match early on. Juri Bonnie, a 3-cost 4k attacker with 1k counter. Attaching 1 Dawn your turn once per turn. When your opponent loses a life, draw 2 cards and discard 1 from your hand. A great card to play down, not even needing to swing, allowing you to really draw and build a nice hand size. It's also a very powerful trigger, allowing you to draw 2 and discarding 1 from your hand also. Nami, a 5-cost 5k attacker with 1k counter. On play, you may trash 1 card with a trigger from your hand and KOing up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less. Then if your hand has 3 or less cards in it, draw 1. This also has the same effect if you trigger it. You will not get the body, but it sure is a strong trigger. S-Snake, a 5-cost 6k attacker with 1k counter. On play, up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 6 or less other than Monkey D. Luffy cannot attack until the end of your opponent's next turn. Another powerful freeze card that will disable one of your opponent's attacker for a turn. You will definitely want to add this card to your deck. This set will have 2 new secret rares. If you pull these cards, congratulations. You must put these in your deck because they will be the strongest in the set. Silver Rayleigh, an 8-cost 8k attacker. On play, choose up to 2 of your opponent's characters until the end of your opponent's next turn to give them minus 3000 power and another 2000 minus power. After this, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with 3k or less power. What a crazy and powerful card in this format. You may use this card as a huge power reduction to help you clear board or lower some of the big bodies on your opponent's field. This will help you to defend on the onslaught of your opponent's next turn and can even control the board by removing a 3k or less. This card will win you matches for sure. It's such an insane card. The strongest card in this set, and is a must, will be these 2 emperors. Kaido and Linlin, 10 cost 12k attacker. When attacking, minus 10 Dawn, kill all the characters and put up to 1 card from your deck to your life pile. And trash up to 1 of your cards from the top of your opponent's life pile. This is a 10-drop Big Mom and Kaido Bomb all in one. Pair this with the Black Marie card and it's just GG's. Other notable cards will be these 5 rushers. These may be the final cards that can win you your match. Being able to use them on play, clearing out the board, or even going for a game is always a must in this format. If you do see S Shark, you will also want to add him to your deck, and if you don't pull him, don't forget that he is a part of this set, because he is a 4-cost 5k attacker with 1k counter, and when attaching 1 Dawn, his attack cannot be blocked. So make sure if you have a blocker and you are thinking about saving it and only have 1 life, for sure give up the blocker, because once S Shark is ready to throw his fists, he is unblockable. We will now take a look at some event cards. I Never Shoot You is a 2-cost counter. Give up to one of your leaders or characters 4k attack power for the battle. Then give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 1000 for the turn. This also has a strong trigger that will give up to one of your leaders or characters 1k power for the turn. Cloven Hoof Rozo is a 2-cost active main. Give up to 3 of your characters 1k power for the turn and give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 1k power for the turn. This also has a trigger that will give your opponent's leader or characters -3 powers during this turn. Then give up to one of your characters 3 powers for the turn. Electrical Luna, 3 costs on main. All your opponent's rested characters with a 7 cost or less do not become active during your opponent's next phase. A crazy event card that will lock down all your opponent's characters for a turn. It also has a trigger that will rest up to one of your opponent's characters. Baku Shaka, 3 cost main or counter. Give up to one of your opponent's -3 power for the turn. Then give up to one of your characters 3k power for the turn. This also has a very strong trigger that will KO one of your opponent's characters with 5k power or less. These will be the strongest event from this set that you for sure need to add. Other events are pretty weak. If you do need to add filler, you may want to add the ones that will trigger a card draw. But you should really focus on adding these. You're better to just add more 1k counters than other events. Some combo cards that may be fun to play will be Conslot, Jin Xian, and Joe Bunny. Be strong tech that will give you mini Dofi and Bonnie freezes, having low cost and 1k counter on them. These may be good fillers to add for some extra spice in your deck. Charlotte Cracker and Cracker Soldier is another combo you will want to consider if you are able to pull a few of them. And also if you want to gamble, this will be super fun move to pull off. Another combo you may build is Kara Mario, Chess, and Chess Mario. These 3 cards will synergize with each other and be able to boost each other up. If you are looking for more filler, here are another few cards that you may want to add to your deck. Atmos, Tatch, Shaka Yaku, Porcas D Ace, and Jin Rummy. So that will be pretty much everything you need to know for this event. I hope you enjoy ripping all those packs and seeing all that beautiful artwork. Let me know in the comments if this guide helped and if you were able to take home that winner card. If you made it this far, I appreciate you and I want to thank everyone for all the support. We just hit 700 subscribers. Please like and subscribe for future content such as the OP08 Rainbow Luffy event that will be coming up next. Good luck, friends, and may all your hands be all feathers and no bricks. Good luck, good luck. We will see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.